Have you ever wondered why the ground at Yellowstone National Park is rising, and what could it possibly mean? Well, the truth is that the enigma of the rising soil in Yellowstone has been a topic of intrigue and fascination for many. Picture this: the ground beneath your feet, the very earth you stand on, gradually swelling up, almost as if it were breathing. It's not the stuff of science fiction, but a real phenomenon happening right now in Yellowstone National Park. This unusual event has been observed over the years, drawing the interest of scientists, researchers, and curious minds alike. The soil, it seems, has a life of its own, rising and falling with a rhythm that is yet to be fully understood. And while it might present a beautiful spectacle, the underlying reasons for this are not as simple or straightforward as one might think. So, what could be causing this? Well, the possibilities are as varied as they are fascinating. It could be a natural geological process, a sort of terrestrial ballet performed by the Earth's crust. On the other hand, it could also be an indicator of something far more dramatic, a hint of underground volcanic activities. Now, before you rush off to grab your emergency kits, let's clarify one thing. It's not necessarily a sign of an imminent volcanic eruption. The ground's rise and fall in Yellowstone is a complex puzzle, and we are still putting the pieces together. Scientists are keeping a close eye on this, but as of now, it's more of a wait-and-see situation. So, what exactly causes this unusual geological event? Let's dive into the science behind it. The rising soil in Yellowstone isn't a random occurrence, it's a result of complex geological factors. Let's start by understanding that the Earth's crust isn't a solid, immovable mass. Instead, it's a series of tectonic plates, constantly shifting and interacting. Yellowstone sits on top of one such active region known as a hotspot. This hotspot is essentially a plume of molten rock rising from deep within the Earth. It's like a geological pressure cooker, constantly heating and stirring things up. The rising soil is majorly due to the influence of magma chambers underneath Yellowstone. These vast underground reservoirs of molten rock cause the ground above to heave and fall as they fill and empty over centuries. When the magma chamber fills, it exerts pressure on the overlying rock, causing the ground to rise. Conversely, when it empties, the ground can fall. Tectonic movements also play a crucial role. The North American plate, on which Yellowstone lies, is moving southwest over the stationary hotspot, creating a swath of volcanic activity across the region. This movement can cause the ground to rise and fall, depending on the interplay of forces at work. Then there's geothermal activity, another significant factor. Yellowstone is home to more than 10,000 geysers, hot springs, and other geothermal features. This heat can cause the ground to expand and rise, and when it cools, it can contract and fall. Now you might think, isn't rising soil a sign of an impending eruption? Not necessarily. While it's true that rising ground can indicate an increase in underground activity, it doesn't automatically mean an eruption is on the way. Scientists closely monitor these changes, and for now, it's more of a let's see what happens situation. While the geological factors behind the rising soil are fascinating, it's crucial to understand what this could mean for Yellowstone and beyond. The rising soil in Yellowstone is not just a geological curiosity, it has potential implications that are worth considering. Now let's delve into what these implications might be. It's like a ripple effect. A change in one area can lead to changes in others. And in the case of Yellowstone, the rising soil could potentially impact geothermal features, local ecosystems, and even pose a risk of volcanic activity. Starting with geothermal features, Yellowstone is home to some of the world's most extraordinary geysers and hot springs. These are dependent on the underground plumbing systems of the park, which could be affected by the rising soil. Changes in the Earth's crust can alter the pathways of hot water and steam, potentially leading to new geysers, or causing existing ones to become inactive. Moving on to local ecosystems, Yellowstone is a thriving hub of biodiversity, hosting a myriad of plants and animals. Any significant change in the landscape, like the rising soil, could affect these ecosystems. It could alter water sources, change habitats, and disrupt the delicate balance that allows life to flourish in this area. And now to the elephant in the room, the risk of volcanic activity. Yes, Yellowstone is a supervolcano, and yes, the rising soil could be a sign of magma movement. But before you start packing your bags, it's important to remember that the likelihood of an eruption is extremely low. Geologists are keeping a keen eye on the situation, and while the rising soil is indeed intriguing, it doesn't necessarily mean we're on the brink of a volcanic apocalypse. So, while the rising soil in Yellowstone does pose some potential implications, there's no need for panic. It's a fascinating phenomenon that provides us with a unique opportunity to study and learn more about the complex dynamics of our planet. The rising soil in Yellowstone is a reminder of the dynamic and ever-changing nature of our planet. With the soil in Yellowstone continually rising, what does the future hold for this iconic national park? Well, the answer isn't as clear-cut as you might think. The future of Yellowstone is a subject of intense study and ongoing research by geologists worldwide. The rising soil, while fascinating and somewhat alarming, isn't necessarily a harbinger of volcanic doom. It's a part of the park's complex geological puzzle, a testament to the dynamic and ever-changing nature of our planet. So, what could the future look like? Yellowstone could continue along its current path, with the soil rising and falling in response to the shifting magma beneath. Alternatively, the magma could eventually find a weak point, leading to an eruption. But before you start picturing a scene from a disaster movie, let's clear something up. Even if an eruption were to happen, and that's a big if, it's not likely to be the cataclysmic event that some might imagine. The geological history of Yellowstone shows us that massive, landscape-altering eruptions are incredibly rare. The last one happened some 600,000 years ago, and there's no concrete evidence to suggest another one is due anytime soon. Most of Yellowstone's volcanic activity is much more subtle, resulting in geysers, hot springs, and other geological wonders that attract millions of visitors each year. The scientific community is keeping a close eye on Yellowstone using state-of-the-art monitoring equipment to track the park's geological activity. This ongoing research is crucial for predicting potential eruptions and understanding the park's unique geology. So, while the rising soil of Yellowstone is a cause for curiosity and research, it's not a cause for panic. It's a reminder of the powerful forces at work beneath our feet, shaping and reshaping the Earth in ways we are still striving to understand. As we continue to study and understand the rising soil in Yellowstone, one thing is clear: our planet never ceases to amaze us with its geological wonders. The rising soil in Yellowstone is a geological marvel that continues to intrigue scientists and enthusiasts alike. Throughout this journey, we've delved into the mystery of this rising soil, a phenomenon that is as fascinating as it is complex. We've looked at the various geological factors at play, from the movement of magma beneath the Earth's crust, to the shifting tectonic plates, and the thermal dynamics involved. This isn't a simple case of soil rises, volcano explodes. Rather, it's an intricate puzzle, a symphony of geological processes that can result in the ground swelling. But it's not just about understanding why this is happening. It's also about considering the potential implications of this phenomenon. The rising soil could be a natural part of Yellowstone's life cycle, or it could be a precursor to some sort of volcanic activity. However, there's no need to panic or rush to grab your emergency kits just yet. Scientists are keeping a close eye on the situation, and for now it's more of a "let's see what happens" scenario. Looking forward, the future of Yellowstone remains a topic of great interest and anticipation. Will the soil continue to rise? Will there be an eruption? Or will Yellowstone continue to mystify us with its geological wonders? Only time will tell. As we close this chapter, let's remember that the exploration and understanding of our planet's complexities are ongoing. Every geological feature, every mountain, every valley, and indeed, every rising patch of soil has its own unique story to tell. The rising soil in Yellowstone is just one of those captivating tales. It's a testament to the dynamic, ever-changing nature of our planet, a reminder of the wonders that lie beneath our feet. As we explore and understand the complexities of our planet, remember, every geological feature has its own story to tell. The rising soil in Yellowstone is just one of those captivating tales.